Hi everyone! Today's video is a quick fun one for you. So Cult Pens have sent me some alternatives to Posca paint pens, and these are by Schneider and Pilot. So I'll be going through them and showing you a little project with them as well to see how well they perform. Just to give you a bit of an alternative product to Posca. They're massive, aren't they? And I absolutely love Posca pens, as you know, but there are a lot of acrylic marker pens out there and, you know, the water-based pigment markers. So let's just see how they go. First of all, we've got these Pilot Pintor markers. Now, Pintor actually means painter in Spanish, so they're painter markers, and they come in sets of 6, 10, 20 and as singles as well, so you can just buy 1 or 2 singles to try out first and see what you think. As I said, they are water-based pigment ink, so slightly different to acrylic paint, but they work very similarly. They have different line thicknesses, so you can go right from extra fine up to a big wide chisel nib, so perfect for lots of different applications. And they are permanent on porous surfaces but not permanent on non-porous surfaces. So if you're colouring with them on wood, for example, which is what I'm going to be doing today, you'll see that they soak into the wood and they are permanent. If, however, you're colouring on something like plastic, something that's non-porous, shiny, glossy, you can remove the paint if you wish. So, as I say, quite versatile and perfect for different kinds of applications. They've got 24 colours in total, and I think that's everything I can remember about them. Then we've got the Schneider pens. So these are probably the most, or the closest to the Posca paint pens. They're an acrylic marker, so they contain acrylic paint, and they come in sets of 6 and singles as well, so you can buy 1 by 1, and they have 18 colours in the range. They're non-toxic, low odour, and again, various nib sizes from 2mm up to a big 15mm chisel. So now that we've gone through all of the boring info about them, boring but necessary because you need to know what they're all about, let's have a go at a bit of a project with them. As I mentioned, I'm going to be colouring on some wood today. So yeah, let's see how they perform and how they work together. So here's the wood slice that I'm working on today. I got it in a pack of, well, there were quite a few, I can't remember how many exactly, but it was a pack from Arteza. So if you're looking for some wood slices with pre-drilled holes, you can get them from there. So I'm starting off with the Pilot Pintor in black, and I'm just scribbling on some black paint just across the top of the wood. I've then got one of the Schneider markers, the dark blue, and what I'm doing here is I'm pressing it a few times and the nib goes up into the pen, allowing you to release a little bit more ink, or paint rather, every time. So if you do this on a non-porous surface like this glossy sheet I've got underneath, you can then pick up the paint from the sheet and apply it to wherever you want. So as you can see, I'm using a paintbrush, and I'm just doing that again and again, putting some paint down, picking it up with the paintbrush. And what this does is it allows you to blend the two colours together. Because if you just scribbled the blue right next to the black, you would have a definitive line between the two colours. And what I'm trying to do is make a lovely kind of ombre effect with this. And then I can carry on painting downward just with the blue pen, and it's all nice and blended at the black. And that's what I'm doing again here. So I'm painting on this time a little bit of the lighter blue from the Pintor pens, coming in with a damp clean brush just to try and blend the two colours together. It can be a bit difficult sometimes, especially if you have a really light colour and a really dark colour. So you kind of have to keep working at it a little bit. And I'm somebody who can't leave things alone. I end up going in again and again, you know, trying to fiddle about with it and get it looking better. But I think if I tried to prepare the wood before I started painting it, maybe put some gesso down, give it a bit of a better texture for the paint to sit on top of rather than sink into, we might have had a better blend. So I'm just here filling in the rest of it with that blue, and of course I've got to mess around, bring some dark blue back in with the paintbrush and try and get that ombre effect looking as blended as possible. It doesn't really matter because by the end of it a lot of this will be hidden anyway, but as I said, I like to mess around and go back in, and I can't leave it alone. But this is the kind of thing it's going to look like when you're done. And as I say, you don't have to be, you know, really precise with it. So I've got the black Pintor marker again, and this is quite a fine tip. So all I'm doing is just putting some lines, one taller in the middle and then 2 either side, and then just using a bit of a shaky hand technique Very technical, I know. Just to add in some little branches and make it look like a tree silhouette. There are plenty of these kind of things all around the internet, you know, not just on wood slices, but on stones and rocks. And the kind of silhouette foreground with the blurred ombre background is really quite a simple thing to do. So that's why I thought I'd do this for this project, because it's so achievable for everyone. And as I say, it's just using a little bit of a shaky hand and making the branches at the bottom of the tree thicker and wider than at the top. So I've done the same on the other two, and I'm adding in a couple of little trees at the side as well. And then we have our foreground silhouette. Now I've got the Schneider white paint marker, and I'm coming in and putting some snow on there. Now, to be fair, I was going to do stars, and the ink came out a little bit too thick at the start for me to make them stars. So I decided to turn it around and make it into snow. So here is the little bits of snow, and then I'm popping some of the paint onto that non-porous surface in the back, picking it up with a very, very fine paintbrush. I think this is a 2.0. I think they call them modelling paintbrushes. And then I'm just dotting a little bit, again with the shaky hand, on top of all of the branches of the tree. So it just gives the effect that the snow has settled on the branches. And yeah, it adds to it, I think. So really good idea if you can get a non-porous surface, even if it's just a plate, you know, a piece of ceramic, and just pump the marker a little bit on that surface and you'll get a bit of paint to use. So there you have it, really, really quick and beautiful Christmas ornament for you to give out, or, you know, just put on your tree at the end of the year. So I'm just adding some twine here, just giving it that rustic look. And you can give these away as gifts, like I say, or you can stick them on the wall. You can do whatever you like with them, but it's just a really fun craft that doesn't take very long at all, and it's nice and effective at the end of it. So that is the Pilot Pintor pens and the Schneider acrylic markers, both available on Cult Pens. Links will be in the description below. Let me know what you thought of them, and if you have any other suggestions for similar pens to Posca, acrylic markers, things that you use and how you use them as well. It's really interesting to see how different crafters use them for their projects. So thank you so much for watching this quick video. Hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you soon on Colour with Claire.